Welcome back to the Scary Valley Podcast. Pete, I don't have a clip again for this week's episode.
Well, what week is this? And what episode did we do?
We didn't have a clip for Scream 7 because it was still in theaters. And this movie's not still in theaters, but I literally could not find a good clip. And I think that's one of the strengths of this movie, and I want to get into that when we get into the critical appraisal of Primate, 2026's Primate.
What is, real quick, did it make money at the box office? Did people like it? Okay. All right.
People liked it. Most critics kind of liked it.
Okay.
But some critics, including horror critics, were strangely critical of an element of this movie that I thought was one of its greatest strengths.
Okay.
And it goes down to why I can't find a clip. Because you've seen the movie, presumably. What would you clip out? What part of the movie would you be like, that is going to sum up anything in this movie? People don't talk throughout most of the movie.
You know what? I do have something that sums it up because
Lucy, bad.
dead. But that might be it actually. Lucy bad.
I thought about clipping that and I was like, what am I going to put a 5-second clip at the beginning of this?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I could have.
Why you got to make everything 20 minutes? 5 seconds. But
that's what Kitty says.
She does. She's like, geez, Pete, I'm tired. We just finished already.
Did she give you the pet on the back? She's like, good for you.
She said, good effort, Pete. Good effort.
Well, first of all, last week's episode, the horrible crime that you committed on me, Poltergeist watch along for April Fool's Day. I do have it backwards. Where do you hide your abacus is in the scene in Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. I'm going to fail, Pete, is not.
So I was right?
You were right, but also it means that you came up with the worst line, because where do you hide your abacus is brilliant.
Yeah, that did sound way too clever to be something.
That's what you said, and I was like giving you credit for it. I was like, oh, maybe not.
Let's see, right. My instincts were right. No, something else. By the way, this stupid Poltergeist prank has backfired on me, because now that I had to watch it with Fred, who just has constantly made fun of it, and then sitting there with you for the watch, I'm like, a lot of the joy I had for Poltergeist has been sucked away. So now...
What do you think happens to me every October when we have to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yeah, but look, you turned me on to that movie.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm really into chainsaw dudes now. But it really is meant to be viewed together. It's not whole movie.
Together. It's rarely been a sequel that was more of an offshoot into a weird space.
No. The only problem was they couldn't get what's-her-face, who ran out the window, because much as I like Scratchers...
she was still running.
What's that?
She was still running. Windows everywhere.
No, isn't she in a coma? Didn't?
Oh, I think they did say that in the subpar sequel.
Them fighting words again. All right. But yeah, it was very disappointing, because I thought Poltergeist, I still maintain Poltergeist holds up, kind of.
It's fine. I told you it's good. It's great even. It's just that I didn't enjoy watching it as much as I expected to last week.
That's what happened to me, especially because I had just watched it with Fred. So I was hoping that watching with you, I'd be like, all right, I'm back into this now. I don't have her dissing it.
I learned a while back that not every movie is meant to be watched as a watch along, because that movie plays out wonderfully when you're watching it and letting it soak in the atmosphere. A lot of dead spaces for watch-alongs. Whereas something like Dangerous Animals, look, Dangerous Animals is not the best movie of all time.
What are you talking about?
But when I watched it in a watch-along format, it was the best movie of all time. So I don't know how to rectify those things other than some movies are made for watch-alongs, some movies aren't. Some movies are meant to be experienced quietly.
Some movies are meant to be watched without a very critical 12-year-old daughter by your side.
That's all movies.
Who I heard her describe John Carpenter's The Thing to her friend as, yeah, it was this movie where they kept setting everything on fire. I fell asleep. That was her summation of John Carpenter's The Thing. Wow. She makes me sad.
Well, we're in second week of April, so these movies have already been out for a while, but I saw They Will Kill Her, and I give it a big thumbs up.
And you were telling me about it, and I'm excited.
Because the advertising for it, I think, is a masterstroke, because it gets you excited to watch the movie. Bloody action movie, looks like over the top, like almost like a not kung fu, but like a kung fu style, ridiculousness.
Right.
And that's all in there. So you get what you expect when you go watch it. But it's listed as a horror movie, and I was so confused going in. Like, why is this listed as a horror movie? I mean, none of the stuff I see in the trailer says anything about horror. None of the write-ups says anything about horror. It's way more of a horror movie than I expected in the most absurd Evil Dead 2 ways.
That's awesome.
And I wasn't expecting it at all. And it made for a wonderful viewing experience that I think that half the people that watch it are going to be really angry about because it's the opposite of what they want. Even though it gives you everything you want, people that don't like horror aren't going to like being tricked into seeing a horror movie.
Yeah. All right, I got to see this movie.
And it came out 1 week after Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, a movie that I thought was fine, which made it incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, that makes me really sad.
The only idea, and watching those movies just days apart, really kind of explained to me what the problem with Ready or Not 2 is.
Yeah, because
they went the path of least resistance. They're like, I know, double the protagonists. I know, bigger game, bigger property to run around. Same game, so it doesn't change anything. It just doubles everything that it's doing. And I'm like, that is the worst way to make a sequel. And it just spends so much time getting into the lore
of the family
Who
past.
gives a fuck?
I didn't
pact with the devil. Move on.
I got it.
Now they're like, here's his lawyer, and he's going to spend 20 minutes explaining some things. Don't want it.
The Devil's Lawyer?
Yeah, I guess so.
Isn't that Robert De Niro and
No, that was
Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves?
Yes, the Devil's Advocate and Charlize Theron.
Was that Charlize Theron?
Yes, I know those boobs anywhere.
She was also the astronaut's wife. No, but when Johnny Depp was the astronaut.
Correct.
Was that what it was called?
Yes.
All right. All right. I know my movies.
Anyway, here's a weird thing. I go to only genre movies because I have to write reviews for genre movies. So I don't see regular movies in theater, so I don't see a lot of regular trailers. I see genre trailers. Except for some reason, every horror movie I've gone to for the last month, which is like 8 horror movies, I see this trailer for this romantic comedy. They're just sticking it at everything.
What
and
is
Pete, it has won me over to the point where I have to see this movie. It's already out, I'm sure, by the time we hear this.
Tell me.
It's called, well, no, hold on. Let me start from the beginning. Because I couldn't believe I was watching this trailer in the first place because I'm like getting ready to watch some bloody, gory, weird movie. The first time I saw it. I don't remember which movie it was now. And I'm like, this is a weird trailer to show me. And then every subsequent horror movie I've seen. Ready or Not 2? Yes. Undertone? Yes. Like everything I've seen. There's this trailer for this fucking movie. And it stars the girl that was the Little Mermaid in the live action movie, which I never saw. Except I saw her singing Part of Your World, and I thought it was like the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
You would.
She was incredible. It's about a girl who meets an Italian guy, and then she finds out that he lives in this beautiful villa that nobody is ever at. So she's like, I'm going to fly there, and I'm going to go live at that place for a little while, because I don't know, she's got to figure things out in life or whatever. And then she gets found out by the maid staff that's in there to clean up. But she'd found a ring in his drawer and put it on, so they think she must be his fiance. So now she's finding the family that she never had, but she falls in love with this beautiful, hot cousin.
Is this?
It's called Yumi in Tuscany. And Pete, I swear they show you the whole movie in the trailer, and every time I'm like more in than the last time. Maybe it's just because I haven't seen a regular movie in forever, but I'm like, it ends with the Italian guy finding her sleeping in his house, and she goes, what are you doing here? He goes, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I have to see this movie. Even though every plot point and beat is so predictable and obvious.
But it's got to be horror, right?
I'm not going to review it on the site. We're not going to cover it on this. But
no, I'm saying it has to be. Why else would they be airing it?
Pete, it's not horror.
It's going to be a twist.
I wish.
Worthy of M. Night. That's what I was waiting for, because it has to be. Why would you see it in every horror movie? Because that's all you ever watch is horror.
I don't know why. But
it's going to be like the one we were just talking about with Zazie Beetz, whatever it's called. It's all the trailers are going to push you one way, and then you go in there and, this was not what I expected. And how awesome would that be?
It's obviously got very high production values, but it's the most Lifetime movie I've ever seen, where the people that are, Matteo is the name of I know the names because I've seen this movie, this trailer 1,000 times. Matteo's the name of the Italian guy, and his family's like, oh, will your family be coming to the wedding? She's like, I don't have any family. And she grabs her and goes, you do now. And I'm like, yeah, you do. And I'm like in love with it. And Janet Jackson's Escapade is playing over it. And I was like, this is peak movie making, I think.
All right. The only problem I have is that it's treading dangerously close to quite possibly one of the best movies ever made while you were sleeping.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
A little bit. That's what I thought you were talking about at first, but with a murder twist. Like, he shows up, he's like, what are you doing? And it turns out he's like a vampire.
I don't know what's going on with you, me, and Tuscany, and why I have to see the trailer all the time, but I get excited every time it starts up.
Vampires come from Italy.
And again, the whole movie's in the trailer. The entire thing except for the resolution being sorted out and everybody accepting her.
And it's going to turn out that the first guy's a jerk, and the one she's pretending to be the fiance of, and the cousin's going to be the good guy that she ends up marrying.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that the guy has to be a jerk.
Oh, he has to be. No. It turns out. That's how these go.
She's not trying to be with that guy, so he doesn't have to actually be anything.
No. But,
except the problem that she has to expose that she's been lying to everybody.
Well,
and she's got one friend, her cab driver, that took her into the place, so she can confide in. So there's a great cutaway to her explaining it to him, and she's like, "You tell the truth, and then they kick you out, or you don't tell the truth, you go to jail. Either way, it's a fun story." And I'm like, "This guy's awesome. I love she has like her one Italian friend."
Sandra Bullock had her, I think, landlord's son who liked to try on her shoes. And I think the son was a grown man. That's who she confided. That was her one friend.
All right, let's get to Primate.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
All right, moving on.
Critics, it's got pretty good reviews. Except, again, this weird thing that some people have grabbed onto that are missing the point entirely of what makes Primate work.
No. All right. Because you recommended this movie first off.
Yeah.
So there had to be something going on with it that makes it good.
I think it is, in many ways, the new prototypical modern slasher.
Go on.
And this is what some people have complained about. There's no plot. There's no character development. There's no character arcs. There's no point. And I say to those people, you are complaining about a feature, not a bug. Okay. The reason there's no clip for me to pull is that nothing fucking happens in this movie except a monkey tries to kill people. Because, Pete, what the fuck else is supposed to happen when a monkey's trying to kill people? What should I be putting in this to distract from the monkey trying to kill people?
Well,
the power of this movie lies in how much you enjoy watching the monkey try to kill people. I'm not going to put a B plot in there to distract or slow down that the monkey's trying to kill people. So these reviewers that have like really hopped on this, yeah, people seem to like it, but I'm going to tell you why it's bad. No, I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. What they like about it is that it's a monkey trying to kill people.
Now, there was a B plot, and it was enjoyable, and it was the love triangle.
Oh, well, no, see, that's my point. My point is this movie is so self-aware that it doesn't have a plot. It literally throws its plot off the side of a fucking cliff. Which is the moment I knew in the theater. I was like, oh, I'm going to like this. Because I have rarely cared less about anything than the setup they had for this love triangle. So it made it so unexpected when the only thing they've developed two things. The strained relationship between three things. The strained relationship between the sister who's returning home and her sister who's still there. Doesn't play a part of anything. The nemesis that her best friend brings and they're going to be enemies. Doesn't play into anything. And the love triangle doesn't play into anything because I don't care about it. And the monkey throws him off the side of the cliff and I go, I don't have to care about it.
You know what almost didn't play into anything either is them using sign language and their father being deaf. It had almost no point in the movie. It was just the thing that was there.
It had only one point, and it wasn't even a plot point. It was just, this is the same director who made the movie The Strangers Pray at Night.
What? And is The Strangers the one where people break in and
yeah, this was
people?
The sequel to that nobody talks about.
Is it any good?
I never saw it.
Okay.
But I saw one scene of it, and it is a girl in a swimming pool being killed by one of the strangers, and there's music playing from a radio, and whenever she's underwater, it gets distorted or quiet, and when her head pops out of the water, bobbing up and down, he does that scene again with Troy Kotzer, Academy Award winner Troy Kotzer, by the way, the father in this movie,
okay,
walking through the house, unable to hear his daughter's screams or the monkey destroying things, because he's playing with the sound again, which is the only point that it really has in doing it, except that it gives it a reason for the family to know sign language.
Right, and that was it. They used that a couple of times to try to speak quietly as to not arouse the killer monkey's attentions.
Simple, effective. There's scenes in this movie where he's violently running at people, the monkey, and it's great.
Well,
There's scenes where he's
right?
quietly stalking a chimpanzee. Yeah, he's quietly stalking them. They're hiding in a closet, Halloween style, and he's sticking his head through there. And I'm like, this is amazing.
So this movie was a confusing movie for me.
How could it be confusing? It's the most simple movie you've ever made.
Because I didn't know. I'm trying to figure, like, I don't know how to describe it because it's not just a monkey with rabies.
It's not a monkey at all. You just pointed out a chimpanzee.
Like, I know what a goddamn monkey is. When a chimpanzee gets rabies, it's a monkey. Anyway, it's not just that, because they get stuck in a pool for a while.
Because he's afraid of water. That is one of the things about rabies.
Right, no, but I'm just like, are we just doing this now? We're just in a pool? Like, the tone of the movie was...
I loved that.
Hear me out. So I don't know if I'm going to turn them like, oh, okay. No, this is cool because they're not. Like, this is tense. Like, this is like, this movie has, like, suspense down to the point where you're talking about playing with sound. The part where one of the attempts to get out of the pool and get help, and then they lasso Ben, right? His name was Ben the chimp. Yeah. They lasso Ben around the neck and they're pulling him in the pool, and it's like a game of tug and war. Like, they're tugging and warring with the rope, and then all of a sudden Ben starts pulling back, and the sound just goes out, and it's silent as Ben pulls the rope away. Then I realized that it wasn't silent. I was holding the remote in my hand, and I had gripped it so tightly I turned the volume all the way down to 0.
The plot of this movie is, can they get a cell phone? And that's what bothers some people, but it's what I loved about it.
But then they get to the house, right? Like, well, at one of the points, and they're like hiding in cupboards and stuff. Yeah. And then I realized that Ben is wearing a shirt, and boy, the music is all. This is a slasher movie. Ben is a slasher.
Yeah.
To the point where I've seen the end. I bet you there'll be a part 2, and Ben's just back.
I hope so.
Because why wouldn't he be? He's a serial killer. He has this pop up. He's dead, and he pops back to life, and he has to be killed again. There 100% could be. It was such a weird mix of genres, but it was none of those. I don't know what this was.
It was a straightforward slasher movie. It took everything else, threw it away. It was like it's just a slasher movie.
Ben was terrifying.
Ben was great, played by a real human.
The press. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it was so creepy too.
That's why it was so creepy. But it's also why it worked so well.
Damn, that's probably right. Because I was about to say too, the practical effects were fantastic.
Once you figure out it's a real person running around there with a mask that they created, it's even better. It's also why it worked so well. I think it worked 1,000 times better than anything else they could have done.
I didn't even think about it. I don't know what I assumed
you just
it
accept
was.
It is what it is.
But I didn't think it was CGI at any point. Or maybe I did, because it wasn't. It didn't look. Fuck me, that's really cool. I got a whole new appreciation for this.
An actor wearing a mask. And it worked.
Damn.
It worked 1,000 times better than anything else they could have done.
Because it was creepy. Kitty saw the very beginning, and she's like, "I care nothing for your monkeys." And she walked away. But she said later, because I was like, that monkey was scary. She said, yeah, at the beginning he was scary. Because I was alluding to the post-rabid monkey.
Well, here's...
I keep saying monkey.
Yeah, we're just going to say monkey. We're not cultured people.
But I am. I read a science book. I ate a science book once.
We got Lucy's the main character. Don't care about her. Got Lucy's best friend, Kate. Don't care about her. Got Kate's new friend and Lucy's enemy, Hannah. Don't care about her. We got Lucy's sister, Erin. Don't care about her. We got Nick, who Lucy has a crush on, who's Kate's brother. Don't care about him. We got Lucy's dad, played by Oscar winner Troy Kotzer. Don't care about him. We got Ben the killer chimpanzee, who I love. And the movie knows it because partway through it says, let's stop fucking with the people you're supposed to at least identify with a little bit and bring in these 2 douchebags that they meet at the beginning of the movie so he can kill them. I love when movies do that, when they realize, you think they're going to be rooting for the chimp? And people are like, of course they are. Like, let's give them some douchebags to kill that you're rooting against.
Because I don't even know if I was rooting for the monkey at that point. I guess you are. Because there was also nobody left.
Okay, were you rooting for the chimp, though?
Yeah, I was always on his side. Yeah. It wasn't his fault. He had rabies. Ben wasn't there anymore.
I agree.
Just like Cujo.
I agree.
And Edgar Allan Poe.
I don't remember that part, but okay.
He had rabies.
Oh.
That's my understanding. And I think the theory, anyway, is that he died of rabies because he ran around refusing drinks at the end of his life. Said, no, sir, I shall not have any drinks. Then he chased a bunch of teenagers.
This movie is so much of a slasher movie that it finds a way to put a cold open kill at the beginning of the movie, despite having to just draw it from the middle of its own story.
Yeah,
because there's no narrative reason another kill would happen before he gets rabies, so they just take something that's going to happen in the middle, put it at the beginning, and then go 2 days earlier.
Well, 36 hours,
whatever.
Because you know what? Me and my time,
which is 2 days.
It's a day and a half.
Yeah, But if you were counting 2 days from now, you would say today's Tuesday, 2 days from now is Thursday. That could be a day and a half.
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. God knows. We'd have to have a family intervention about how somebody else said it.
But you know me in time, and that was very confusing for a very long time, especially because you see this teddy bear at the beginning in the cold open kill, and then I guess 36 hours previously, you see that same teddy bear, I guess. But I'm like, how did that get on the plane? And now I got so confused, Brian.
Well, the opening kill, he rips the vet's face off.
Face?
Half his face off. He's two-faced now.
He's half face, really.
Then we get a full first act of the movie that doesn't matter. And I was sitting in the theater watching it, and you can tell me what your experience was last night, although I already told you that it's going to turn and nothing's going to matter. Sitting in the theater watching it, I went, I heard this was supposed to be pretty good. Why is this boring as shit? And then 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh, that's why. Because none of that mattered. They give you these character beats and setups that just go away when the killer chimpanzee gets on the loose. And I love it when movies do that. And I loved it here most of all because I didn't care about any of the things they were setting up. I think this was done on purpose. I can never prove it. And if you ask the writers or director, they'll be like, yeah, of course we did it on purpose, so I can't trust them. I think that this is exactly how my brain works. There's certain expectations movies have. I don't want to do any of them. So let's just make the most boring, worthless ones we can and then throw it off the side of a fucking cliff.
Was it really that bad? Do you think the setup
Do you care about any of these things?
Yeah, but I don't care about any of those things in any movie, really.
Okay, well, I can tell you as a normal person, I cared less about this than I've ever cared about any setup to anything in any horror movie.
So it really...
I just want to see the chimpanzee kill people, and I think the movie knows it.
All right.
Because everything's dropped. Everything's dropped.
Right, but that's... You always talk about that, though, right?
Nobody does it like this because nobody creates things with the specific intention of throwing them off the cliff immediately.
It's not just, we're going to do all the normal tropes you have in this and then throw it off a cliff.
Pete, on a rewatch, when the camera pulls back from her new frenemy, Hannah, making out with the guy she likes, and you see the sad look on Lucy's face, I cackled so hard because I'm like, in 5 minutes, that motherfucker's going over this cliff. The movie, they're all fine people, but the movie knows. The movie knows that I'm not going to care about this. So when you watch it a second time, you're like, I love how little I care about this. Because it doesn't matter.
And you think they acted that way? They just made themselves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm 100% on it.
Well, I will watch this movie again because it's so much fun.
This goes another question here that we've had recently. Why is everyone in slasher movies rich as fuck?
Well, they explained that away because I had that very same question.
But we know why, because you have to have a beautiful property to run around. This is one of the most gorgeous places they've shot a horror movie.
But with it, right, they explain away the monkey who lives with them,
yes.
the ability to have sign language, why you have a machine that Ben can use to then issue terrifying threats to people.
Yes, but this goes to my previous point. They tell you this is all because of a dead mother / wife. This was her job. And it's like, so... It's not really a plot because they've taken away the only character that could make that plot work. It's just that it's like, oh, here's all this interesting stuff we came up with. We're not doing it.
But the dad, he's like, I got this book to sell. This is how because he sells all the books. That's where they get their money. He writes all about it. So that made him go away. So the teenagers could, be stalked by the slasher monkey.
Yeah, Troy Kotsur is an interesting one. He won an Oscar during the COVID years for Coda. He won Best Supporting Actor. And I'd seen him in other stuff. Like, I think he was in... I don't remember what he was in.
No, he looked like I've seen him in stuff, too.
Yeah, and it's like, on one hand, you want to be like, it's one of those things where you win the Oscar and then you can't get good roles because you're in Primate. But then I watch Primate and I'm like, what the fuck's he going to do better than Primate? I'm never going to watch Coda.
No.
Like, I watched Primate twice already. Like, I think this is a win.
I agree. And it's the fact that I didn't, like you said, the beginning's boring. Maybe it's because the relationships are set up. But the tone, when you look at it at the end, you're right. It is just, hey, look, this monk, God damn it, I feel bad about myself now. This chimpanzee has rabies. And it's a tragic. Once you sort out the confusion of the timeline, The
confusion of the timeline. It literally tells you it's 36 hours earlier.
Look, I'm getting over COVID. It's hard to pay attention to things.
What is this, 2020?
Yeah.
This is the longest COVID.
It's still out there, and it's fierce, Jerry. It's fierce.
Did they use "It's Still Out There" when they brought the X-Files back?
I don't know.
They should have.
I never watched the relaunch.
Me neither. They should have used that, though.
Is it still out there, though?
I don't know. It's coming back.
Is it? Oh, wait. I think I heard that.
Yeah.
But it's not Buffy.
No, I know.
That makes me sad.
You know who else isn't?
Oh, no. I know. I know the answer.
I didn't say anything.
And what I was just thinking about watching the other day, too, was Coherence.
That's a good movie.
It is. I liked it. I saw it once before, but I'd watch it again. Just like I'd watch this monkey movie.
Me too. I will watch it again. Valerie Perrine died, too. She was Miss Tessmacher in the original Superman. I always liked her.
Oh, I saw that, too. Why am I getting... Is my phone listening to you, and now I just get all your weird death things?
Well, they're maybe the most beautiful house in the world in Hawaii. And this is another thing where I'm like, I think I know why Troy Kotzer signed up for this. Spent a few weeks in Hawaii.
But it wasn't Hawaii. It was... I looked at, spoiler for the credit checks, but it was like in Portugal and Australia and Canada, all these magnificent countries.
Look great. It's on a cliffside. It has an awesome design with a big ass swimming pool, and they have a pet chimpanzee, despite what Pete will tell you.
I hate you so much.
I'm the one who started off by continuing to say a monkey's killing you.
I can't stop.
That's why I put it in your brain. Lucy's mother's passed away, but she was a linguistics professor who worked with chimps, so Ben can communicate through a soundboard and can also use sign language, which the whole family knows because the father's deaf. That is the kind of minimalist writing that I'm on board with.
Well, man.
2 sentences explains why everybody can do sign language. Great.
Right. I'm really hitting the point. This movie is just a straightforward.
Yeah.
Here we go. There is it's an animal with rabies, but instead of just being trapped in a car,
But
with
he
Cujo,
doesn't act like an animal with rabies.
No, he's a goddamn
acts
slasher.
like a furry Michael Myers, furry Jason Voorhees, depending on what the scene calls for.
And I think that I'm positing now that I believe those rabies gave him superpowers.
I hope so.
And he'll be back. He's
hope so.
unstoppable. You don't need to give me another monkey with rabies. Just he's back. Oh no. Hey guys, you know that Ben that likes to try to kill our family every generation?
He's a writer. The father's a writer who will conveniently be leaving for the weekend for a book signing, leaving all the young people with the chimpanzee. And I've wondered, I guess the one thing I have in the first act that I found interesting is why the fuck Lucy's friend gets to invite a friend to Lucy's house. We're friends, Pete. Been friends for over 30 years. I'd never been over here and been like, oh, this is my friend. She's going to stay with us for the week. Like, what?
Well, I assume if I had a house on the side of a cliff in Hawaii with like a million
this
rooms.
is rich people problems?
Yeah, this is rich people. I just write that. I'm like, of course you just invite random people over. Like, I watched Bodies. It seemed like none of them really knew each other. They just invited strangers.
That's true. Before the father leaves, he finds a dead mongoose in Ben's enclosure.
I didn't know what that was.
Well, the movie tells you it's a
I
mongoose.
know. It was like a little mystery I had. I'm like, what was that, a rat?
So he locks Ben in there and calls the vet, who we see get murdered in the opening scene.
That's who that was.
The movie pushes this love triangle between Lucy, Hannah, and Nick that I cared so little about.
But it didn't push it. It was just kind of there. And you know what?
It's the only thing that it pushed. You can say it didn't push it hard. That's true. But it's the only thing that it pushed.
Did it? No. Was there anything else? Did the guy's sister have any?
No, because there's like the sister's mad at her sister for being away for so long, but she forgives her by the end of that scene. Mm-hmm. The father's gone, so forget everything with him. The Hannah of it all, I don't like your new friend, that ties into the love triangle. It's like literally the only thing you have.
Who? What the hell was the friend's name? The one who invited Hannah? Kate. Did Kate have a point? Did she have anything other than she invited her friend?
Yeah.
Hannah? Yeah, all right. That's what I thought. No, I was going to say with the Hannah thing, you're like, ooh, this flashy hussy moving in on whatever our person, I can't remember her name, Sarah?
Lucy. Did you ever care once about what's happening with Lucy? No, that's the point.
Which was interesting because at any point anyone can die.
Yeah.
The little sister, I said that one of the very first scenes, the little sister is interacting with you the audience know the fucking Ben has rabies at this point. I almost said monkey again, but I didn't. And I think that she could have died at any point. The suspense, the tension is real in like every scene because apparently that was a real person in a monkey suit. I don't know if you know that,
It was
Brian.
in a chimpanzee suit. I knew that.
God damn it.
When they discover Ben acting strangely, they try to calm him down and tie him up, and it doesn't work out. And the group jumps in the pool because Ben can't swim, and rabies makes you afraid of water, which the opening text told me in this movie, which I never knew.
Really?
I never knew that. Never put a lot of thought into rabies.
I've been terrified of it forever.
Not water, though.
No, I'm still good.
Then you'd have rabies, and I'd have to put you down. Mm-hmm. He bites Erin, who's the sister, before they get in there. So there's a bit of a ticking clock on getting her to the doctors, but they take so long, I just assume she died after the credits.
No, I think it's 24 hours.
Oh, I see.
That you have to. But hear me out. I just think the sequel now is going to be she gets rabies, but it's part of that super rabies that Ben has. So the two of them team up.
I'm in. Anyway, Ben is stalking around the pool, and Nick decides to try to push him off the cliff.
Which is a valid idea.
It is, but instead he's thrown to his death.
Head first.
And I never have to think about that love triangle again. And I loved it.
His head hit the ground like that last tremor at the end of Tremors.
It's one of my favorite things that's ever happened in a movie. Just because the degree to which I didn't want it to be a movie about this love triangle or this relationship between Lucy and Hannah. I didn't care about any of that. So when he's thrown off the side of the cliff, I thought, they did this on purpose. They set it up so perfectly for this is all we've given you to think about, and now you can't think about it ever again.
Which was fun. But then I turned to which was the point I was trying to make earlier, the Hannah redemption arc, which was, I thought she was a little hussy, but it turns out she was just a normal person and she was trying to help everyone survive. She was brave. She was...
Sure, yeah, no, everything about their own animosities dropped completely.
Right. So that was her little arc.
Bitch can't figure out which car's hers, though. Oh, this is why this movie's so great. Because I know it's a killer chimpanzee and you know it's a killer monkey. And what's great about it is that how much he doesn't act like a chimpanzee with rabies. He's like, I've got the car keys and I'm going to slowly open the back door. Like, he's just a slasher killer.
The music is 100% like 80s slasher music.
He didn't get bit by a mongoose with rabies. He got bit by a slasher killer from a different series and then just became like that next iteration of him.
100%. It's this weird blend of things. I was trying to describe it to Kitty, and I'm like, I like individually, I'm like, it's this, but it's none of those. And you're right. At the end of the day, hey, it's a monkey with rabies, but he's also
even a chimpanzee with rabies.
God damn it! God damn you!
What follows is a pretty damn good slasher movie in my mind. And the only plot is the girls need to get a cell phone. For like 40 minutes, the only plot is, can we get a cell phone?
But Ben chasing them through the house?
Well, Ben is, let's call it as it is, smarter than all of them.
Apparently, even with rabies, right?
Yes. No, rabies just gave him, like...
super rabies.
It made him do a little furry Jason Voorhees. The movie turns into Halloween for a while, with Ben quietly searching for the girls, like an animal with rabies would do. This is what I mean. This is what I loved about it so much. They're hiding in closets and holding their breath and being inches away from Ben murdering you, and it's all great.
It's terrifying, though.
It's all great.
It's fun terrifying.
Yes. I just didn't expect that kind of scene in this movie, and that's the moment where I watched it the first time where I realized, like, this is just a straight-up slasher movie. This isn't an animal possession movie. This isn't a killer animal movie even. This is just a straight-up slasher movie with the most interesting antagonist I've seen in years.
But it's also just, hey, this monkey has rabies and it's killing everyone.
And he's a dick because he takes his little sound machine and he plays things like Nick dead. So it knows what it's doing.
Because at this point, he's not just a monkey with rabies. He's a Jason Voorhees.
You could almost argue he was never a monkey with rabies.
Some people probably would try to argue that.
It's creepy as fuck when he plays that soundboard. I wish they'd use it a little bit more, but also don't change a thing. That's where I'm at with it.
It is such a blend. Jesus Christ. Chasing them under beds. As you said earlier, when the father comes back, can't hear. He comes back early because he's mildly worried. Oh, that mongoose got, the lab results came
we'll
back.
get to that.
Are we still there?
Well, they managed to lock him inside the house. And my favorite moment in the entire movie happens because they're just behind a glass door and Lucy's staring at him and he's staring back at Lucy and she's like, uh-oh. And he just runs through the glass window like Sally Hardesty, glass door like Sally Hardesty. And as he's doing it, the soundtrack turns into this incredible 70s, 80s synth score.
Yeah.
That is peak modern slasher. This is the moment where I was like, I just saw this incredible suspense scene of him stalking them around the house, hiding in closets. They got the upper hand on him, they thought, but he's unstoppable. And we're turning into like a 70s synth score. This is peak modern slasher to me. And any other modern slasher has to really up their game because stripping this down but just putting a chimpanzee in the middle of it worked. This was cool as fuck. This part of the movie is cool as fuck. And it's like the whole middle part of the movie. It's cool as fuck.
The chase through the house. Is this the part 2 where the two guys are appear? Not yet. Okay.
No, because first he's got to crush Kate's head with a rock.
Oh yeah.
Because Kate and Lucy were the ones hiding in the closet.
Right. This was the first attempt to get a phone.
Yes. So we're already down to just Lucy, her injured sister, and Hannah, who was set up to be rivals with her. But none of that matters because a chimpanzee is killing people. They never have a crossword again.
When he crawled across, when they're in the pool at one of the points, and he crawls across on the rope and grabs Hannah by the hair,
Awesome.
and like,
Awesome.
out
Didn't
of
see it coming
nowhere.
either.
No,
Yeah.
just out of nowhere. The suspense is great. Just the shocks are great. When they were hiding in the closet, and what drew Ben into the area they were in the first place was the TV coming on. She steps on, and he's just watching it, and then he just goes nuts, like ape shit nuts, and destroys. Get it? Ape shit. And then he destroyed the TV.
You know what I mean? Monkey shit?
Oh, that would have been better.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, the father finds out about the rabies, and no one is answering their phone, so he blows off this important meeting and heads home.
But keep in mind, he wasn't really concerned because the vet's like, yeah, there's no rabies in Hawaii.
No, he tells the vet there's no rabies in Hawaii.
And
And she's kind of like a dick about it. She's like, well, thanks for your expertise. And it's like, he's right. And he's right. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you're upset with him for having knowledge about something. It's the only state that has no reported cases of rabies. I don't know why she's being, I don't know why, I think it's a woman. I don't know why the vet's being a dick about it.
Uh-oh. Why do I think it's a woman too? Boy, it is.
I think it's a compliment. It's a doctor.
No, I was just saying, why are we just assigning a dickish person to be a
No,
woman?
we probably saw the name.
No, there was an actual, you saw her, I believe, earlier.
Well, it's around this point that Primate makes the really fun decision where it knows that you want Ben to win. It's just, there's no other way to put it. You've fallen in love with Ben. You respect his game.
I don't know. I don't know if I went full on Ben here.
No, it knows that you probably want to root for him a little bit.
Right, a little bit.
So it lets you root for him a little bit.
Yeah, agreed.
Because the girls meet these two douchebags on a plane, and there's no third dimension to them. They're just douchebags on a plane. They might be fine people, but they're douchebags.
I think that was the lesson the movie was teaching us. Everyone was a fine person. They're just, being idiots like most people are.
Yeah, young people.
Right.
And this is probably a great, what young people are like, I don't know, I'm not a young person anymore. But these two guys are just douchebags. But they're douchebags that live in a very affluent community that just like to party and fuck. That's fine. That's what I would want to do if I was in an affluent community. That's what I want to do in a poor community. Because, honestly, this movie needed... Sometimes movies can get confused like this, where you root for the bad guy for a while. I think this movie needed it. Because, as you pointed out, it's not his fault. So if we're going to do this, let's fucking do it in a way where I can really enjoy watching a douchebag's jaw get ripped off.
Right. But it's done in this taunting, stocky manner that just draws out the tension.
He's one of the most effective slasher killers in recent memory because of his innate chimpanzee strength and unpredictability. He can be unlike a Freddy Krueger or a Chucky or a Michael Myers or a Jason. You don't have to hide him in the shadows. He can be right on top of you, and you were just terrified of him. And this douchebag is like, oh no, oh it's okay, monkey, everything's fine, everything's gonna be fine, buddy. Because he's an idiot. He says monkey. He's like, he's gonna be fine. And he's like, we can just be buddies, man. And he's like, oh, you want to put your fingers in my mouth? That's cool. That's cool. And then he's like, finally, like,
don't let him do that.
Get the fuck off. And he rips his jaw off. It was awesome.
God.
Great practical effect.
He was fucking playing with it too.
Yeah. He threw it at his buddy.
Because I guess that's part of the problem. You're right. You do want to start rooting for him at some point, but I'm not necessarily rooting against any of the people. But this movie,
Well, it let me root against these people.
yeah, those particular people.
Yeah.
The movie had such a tone that I didn't know what I wanted. Maybe that was what my issue was. I didn't know what I wanted out of this movie.
No, you're just watching it unfold.
Right, I'm just watching this. You're
But that's
right.
another level that most slasher movies can't get to.
Agreed.
And because they're trying so hard to make you care about one thing or the other. This movie doesn't give a fuck what you care about. But it thinks you probably want to see Ben rip someone's jaw off. So it lets you do it in a way where you can be like, hey, I kind of really like to rip that guy's jaw off.
I was sad when everyone dies. Like each character, despite them having no real.
I was sad for Lucy when Kate died, but I had no feelings about Kate one way or the other. Because the only thing I know about Kate is that she's been Lucy's friend for a long time. So I was like, ooh, that's a real death with stakes. Obviously, I love when Nick got thrown over the cliff. I love when this douchebag got his jaw ripped off. I love when his buddy gets beaten to death with a shovel. You know, like an animal with rabies would do. He throws the jaw at him, and I'm like, this is what I love about this character, is that he's not just a chimpanzee with rabies. He has real awareness of everything going on around him. It's made him smarter than anybody could ever be. Because how many chimpanzees would know? I bet it'll really freak him out to see his friend's jaw. But he thinks it.
Oh, God damn.
And we all cheered. I cheered when he beat that man to death with the shovel. You know why? Because it's absurd.
Right.
But it works. But for some reason, I'm not questioning it in the moment of watching it. I'm just enjoying it. But it's a chimpanzee with rabies beating a man with a shovel.
Who he's taunted and stalked and murdered, like, knowingly. Like, he chased them. He was playing hide and seek under the bed with one of them at one point.
Those two do not last long in this movie. They don't get in the pool. That's the way they survive. Get in the pool.
Yeah, but that's not.
These girls have to keep running back to the pool.
I do like that the pool is a safe spot. I had a part of me when you're watching the movie at the beginning, maybe because it's so slow to start off, when they get trapped in the pool, which is their, logically the first place to go hide because they're right there when it happens. I thought it was going to be one of these, oh, we're stuck in the pool for this whole movie kind of thing. But no, it becomes back to the pool, you idiots. Get back in the pool.
They get lucky because Lucy knows that he can't swim because they don't know shit about the rabies and the fear of water.
Right.
That just is coincidental.
Right, which was, interesting.
It tells me in the beginning of the movie that's true. Lucy doesn't know that. None of that. They don't know that.
They don't
just
even know
he
it's
can't
rabies.
swim.
Yeah.
They don't even know it's rabies. They just know he can't swim. So they got kind of lucky with his hydrophobia.
Yeah, but even if he couldn't swim, the pool still would have been a safe spot. He wouldn't have gone near it.
I wonder if that's true because even if you can't swim, you're not in your right mind when you have rabies.
Right.
You're supposed to be like a mad dog. So you'd think that like he would be like, fuck it, I'm going to make that jump. But he's not going to do it because he's terrified of the water.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think they got lucky.
Okay, I see what you, but that's just, yes.
But again, he's beating a man to death with a shovel. What do I know what he knows?
Also, I was going to say, right, he carries around his little voice chat just to say the most creepy things he possibly can. And then he hides for dramatic effect, like sitting on the back of the fridge, just hiding.
I need to know more about what this mother was teaching this chimpanzee. Because I think he was just being raised on horror movies.
It had to be,
He
right?
understood atmosphere. He understood setting. He understood character. He understood how to be scary. He understood violence.
I'll tell you what, on my second watch through, I'm going to be looking at any kind of like books or movies in the background on shelves to see if there's any kind of clue.
Hannah finally gets a cell phone and car keys, and she exits stage left.
No, Hannah.
She gets in the wrong car. Because, again, Ben's smarter than all of them.
Well, and those stupid douchebags.
Well, Ben gets the right keys because he's smarter than all of them. And mauls her to death. But she does manage to call the police first. Which, in a normal setup, would not happen. Because the only character arc they've given her is that you're not supposed to like her. But you like her fine. And she calls the police. So she's not even abandoning people.
No, she was on point. She was on mission. That's even the douchebag guys. Yes, they were douchebags, and I was rooting for them to die. I still felt kind of bad about it because at the end of the day, none of these were bad people. I didn't see anybody do anything super shitty or crappy or anything. No one committed any sins. The worst you could say was you invited somebody who wasn't necessarily wanted.
Yeah, Kate was the enemy. Kate was the real villain.
Right, that's about as close as you can come.
She's like, I'm just trying to fuck your brother. but now you got him. You're going to fuck this other girl that you brought. I don't know why you brought her to my house. Bought her a plane ticket, too. What the fuck is going on here?
Well, I don't even remember what the reason. I guess you're right. I cared so little about the people they were introducing. I didn't listen to the reasons why they were doing anything.
And it doesn't matter.
No,
you
it
never
doesn't.
have to. You never have. You can start this movie 20 minutes in. You don't have to care about it.
It's kind of
Although
fun.
you'll enjoy watching it when you're thrown off that cliff the more you don't care about that opening. Because I think it was probably the biggest smile I've had on my face in the theater that didn't involve like actual comedy. Like just the actual like thing that happened. I was like,
That was the first kill, right? Well, aside from the...
Yeah, except for the one they put into the... Chronologically, it was the first kill.
Yeah. Wait, no, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. You're right.
No, he would have... But he was the first kill... The first kill of the group that was trapped.
That's true.
And at that point, I thought maybe 6 other ones could have died because it was that, like, I was in my own head going, who's going to be the first one to go? Which one? And how far are they going to take this movie?
The movie does have to make a decision at some point about who's going to live because it's killed her best friend, it's killed her love interest, it's killed her frenemy, it's killed the 2 douchebags. So it's got enough, killed the vet, it's got enough of a body count.
Yeah.
But the question is, are we just going to leave this family intact?
And I didn't know.
I thought the father would die.
I didn't know.
I thought they would Moriarty and Sherlock Holmes this thing, and they'd both go over the edge.
Yeah. I like when the guy did try to take Ben over the edge, like they both flip over and Ben's just hanging out with his monkey paws.
And his chin paws even. You know why I thought the father would die was that they didn't really set up anything for this resolution to work, where it's like if they had carried on with the Lucy was gone and her sister, although it's not even a bad thing going to college. It's one of those things where it's like, you're just being a brat. But if they had done it differently, where she had like left the family, like for some selfish reason and not been there after mom died. And then she came back and was struggling to re-ingratiate herself with the family. But then the father died and then she knew she had to stay forever and be part of the family. Like that's an arc that would have made sense. Movie's not interested in that. Okay. So when it gets to the ending, I'm like, what would even be the point of killing anybody? You've set nothing up.
But there was an arc. Did you catch it? There was like a full circle moment where when Hannah, that was the one who went away?
No, Hannah was the frenemy.
Okay, which one was the one who went away?
Lucy.
And what was her sister's name?
Erin.
Erin. So when Erin says to her, when they're talking with the monkey machine, Erin's like, and they finally start speaking human again. Erin's like, you were gone for a long time. And Lucy was like, what'd she say? She said, but I'm here now. And then at the end, when they're in the ambulance and the father's like, I'm so sorry I was gone, but he signs it. He's like, I'm so sorry I was gone. And then not Lucy, Erin says, but you're here now, because she understood.
Yeah, that's just like the least a movie could do.
That's genius.
But I like that it didn't do anything else, because it's more just like, the movie should have ended. And maybe it's just because we just saw The Guest not that long ago, where I was loved how it ended that line. This movie ends on a great line too, because the cop is messing around with the soundboard and it plays Lucy bad, and it was pretty creepy for a second. I like if it was would have ended with like them all sitting around the family, just being like, "That's fucked up," because that's all it really was. Was like we didn't learn anything, we didn't settle anything, nothing changed for any of us. I'm going back to college. My friends are dead. Like this was fucked up.
This was just a very intense moment in these people's lives.
Yeah, and it's a one-off. Well, maybe not. The father gets home, and the movie does the cool thing with the sound because he can't hear anything. So Lucy's getting beaten to death.
And it's great because he sees the mess, but he walks into finding like a beer can in the driveway. So he assumes that he's like, oh, look at this party.
Yeah, things are silent from his perspective, so he can't hear Lucy scream as Ben's attacking her and remains oblivious to it as he makes his way around the house. I loved that. Loved it. Was it needed? No, but I loved it. You can do it, do it. Eventually he confronts Ben and they throw down, but his daughter's there to help, so it's not a fair fight.
You're 100% on monkey side this time.
I was on the chimp side.
Team monkey.
The father stabs Ben with a broken bottle, and that's pretty cool because the blood is pouring out of the...
Right. It was like a broken wine bottle right through the heart.
Yeah. It isn't over, though, as Ben gets up and charges at Lucy.
Yeah, like minutes later.
Yeah. The father saves her from going over the balcony with Ben, who ends up impaling himself on a broken chair. And I was sad. I know there's no cure, but I was sad anyway.
I maintain that at this point, once he pops back to life for that final, lunge, he has moved beyond just a monkey with rabies. He is now full-on unstoppable serial monster killer.
I'd argue he was never a monkey with rabies.
You can argue that all you want, and you're probably right, but he had rabies, but not anymore. Now he's just a guy in a monkey suit.
The police arrive, and the family is reunited, except for their chimpanzee and their mother.
Yeah, and everyone else whose bodies are strewn about the house.
They weren't part of the family.
No, it's not. All right, so
Hannah, bad trip for her, take this vacation, but poor mother of Kate and Nick lost both kids.
yeah, I know.
And we're making those phone calls. Was there a post-credit scene I missed?
No, but there was that part now where the mother calls the two of them, and she's like, "I'm leaving.
yeah.
Make sure you feed those goddamn fish." So her last
No,
words
her
were,
fish are dead too.
yeah, her fish are dead, and the mother has the guilt of knowing the last words were her yelling at her children.
That's what mothers be doing.
Oh, that's right. Moms do be yelling.
She'd be like, no, who am I going to yell at now? Both my kids are gone.
Well, all right. I'm going to do a quick credit check because this has evidence for my sequel. Because you didn't watch the credits, did you?
You know I didn't.
All right. What do we got here? There wasn't a lot happening. No best boys.
Ben was the best boy.
He probably was. There was, although, now that makes a lot of sense that it was a person in a suit because there was a lot of makeup and effects people going on. And I didn't see many animal handlers, but there were because they did use real animals.
Where?
I don't know, but there was the
mongoose?
because
They handled it
the
poorly.
Humane Society told me that the animals weren't hurt at the end.
Yeah, I'd assume not since I didn't see any animals.
Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see here. There were no people that had nicknames, which is my new thing, which makes me sad because I like nicknames in the credit. But you're going to find this fascinating. And there was also a trainee grip, which is just funny for some reason to me. But do you know who I think is trying to hide since we've outed him as a murderer?
Joe Hill.
He is. He was the unit medic on this movie.
Oh, wow.
And what's even weirder was the junior capture technician was Jack White from the White Stripes.
Wow.
So that's happening. But then after I found out that this movie was number 55384, I discovered that voice came back, that robot voice.
Yeah.
And it sang a little song like, I am a crab and I walk to the right, walk to the left. And then it ends. And I think that was Ben pushing the button, showing that he was moving again.
You don't think it was that cop
No,
still playing with it?
Ben took it back, and
His
now he's
partner
moving.
just sitting in the car like, will you please stop playing with that thing?
But you know what that does? That's Weekend at Bernie's types, the part 2. So every time it plays, it makes him get up and start walking and murdering.
I hope that there is a sequel to
There's
this.
got to be.
I mean, there doesn't have to be at all, but
There does.
I would love it if there was because I liked Primate.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that good thing you said that. Because I was trying to look up my Nicolas Cage news to add to this Primate episode. And you know what the problem with looking up Nicolas Cage news is these days, Brian?
That it takes up such a large portion of our days.
No, it doesn't. The problem is that AI keeps trying to jump in and tell me what I should be looking for, and it makes it really hard to find real news about it. Because you know what? You know what AI told me about Nicolas Cage and Primate?
Nope.
Tells me that Nicolas Cage does not star in Planet of the Apes.
Oh, wow. It's true, though. That's more true than a lot of your facts are, to be fair to AI.
Oh, yeah? Well, did you also know that I got real confused because I was arguing with AI because I thought he was in a movie called Primate, but it was Primal. Yeah. And it wasn't a monkey. It was a white jaguar that he was fighting.
Did it have rabies?
I don't know. It's on my list.
It's on your list. Movie made $42 million on a $23 million budget. That's just in theaters, so we'll put in VOD sales and rentals. I think that's enough to make another one because you could probably churn out another one for $20 million.
The movie's fun.
Sometimes sequels make more than the originals if people catch on to them.
I don't know.
The movie's fun, but not in the way that like Dangerous Animals is fun.
No.
Or even Clown in a Cornfield's fun.
Bruh.
It's not having fun on purpose. It's just fun to be what it is.
Right. You can watch it because it's a bunch of kills. It's a rabid monkey. You have this weird, who am I rooting for? You know who you are, but also you're watching things play out. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I did too. I was impressed by how it didn't try to do too much. It just was like, what are we going to do that's not going to get in the way of the one thing people want to see?
But it also doesn't get in its own way.
That's what I just said.
But I said it more recently, you see. I listened to what you said, and then I was able to repeat it back.
I think that the way that a lot of movies go wrong, modern slashers specifically, is that they think that they need to have more things. And this is part of the criticism that's coming against this movie is it doesn't have more things. It has the one thing that works. A lot of movies would have, the whole B plot would be, we'd be following the father for longer on his book signing.
Yep.
What would be the purpose of doing that? It just takes away from the dramatic tension and it takes away from the pacing of the movie. But they do it. This movie's like, it checks in with him twice for like a minute and a half and it's like, oh, better get going. Great. And it would carry on those characters for longer to keep this like nonsense going. There'd be like a moment where Nick like tried to save one of them and expose his true feel. And it's like, I don't need any, but that's what would happen in every single other version of this movie. This one didn't do it. And I was so happy for it.
That's what made the movie. Maybe that's what I thought was so odd watching it and why I couldn't figure out what it was tonally as I watched, because all of these things
you keep
are missing.
looking for a second thing. And there's no second thing.
You know how hard it's been not to say Ben Grimm all of the times you've been saying things this entire episode?
Well, Ben is also the name of the chimpanzee.
It all comes together.
Yep. And yeah, I wish that more movies were this simple, were this committed to being and not afraid to be what it is.
I'm trying to think like examples of what other movies are like this.
I don't know that there are modern ones like this. This is the most throwback thing about it is that sometimes a guy just comes to a sorority house and kills people, and there's no plot to it. Those are bad movies from the 80s. And then you put one in 2026 and it's like, yeah, it's like a bad movie from the 80s, but it's great in 2026 because nobody's made that movie since the 80s. Plus, also the production value is way higher. The performances are way better. The effects are way better. The antagonist is incredible. We'll see him in the Scare Value Award nominations.
I can't believe that was a person that was incredible.
Yeah.
I got to watch it again just for that, just paying attention to that.
Yeah, I really take issue with the reviewers who are trying to discredit it for the thing that gives it all of its power. And sometimes I get it. People don't like horror. They just say stuff. But some people whose opinions are like pro-horror are like, I think people are misreading this movie. Like, you are the one misreading this movie. And no offense, it's not like I know all, but come on. Every suggestion that everybody else makes is like, why would I want to see that over the chimpanzee stalking these girls? I don't understand what you're going to put in it that's going to be better than that. And they're like, there's no character development. Like, no, the development is there's a chimpanzee trying to murder them. That's the character development. Like, what do we do in this situation? And then the situation ends. It's great.
And you know what? It's not over the top either, right? Like, it's very real.
Sylvester Stallone movie about how he has no custody of his son from Robert Loggia.
Imagine if Ben was in that competition.
He'd win. Oh, who would win the arm wrestling competition? Ben or Seth Brundle from The Fly?
Ooh. I don't know. I'm going to go with Ben. I'm pretty impressed with Ben right now.
Ben's great because he seems to be in control of the entire narrative despite being the one that's supposed to be out of his mind.
It is. And as I was going back,
a shovel, Pete. He picked up a shovel.
It wasn't like he was using guns and setting of traps. And
he could have.
He could have, but he didn't. And then sometimes he would just full on chimpanzee beat the shit out of you with his long giant monkey arms and just flail away.
It was so good at just accepting that it's going to be stupid. But it made it play out in a way that none of it felt stupid. When I say he beat a dude to death with a shovel, it sounds stupid. Watching it, I'm like, this is great.
It's kind of scary because you know what's happening in the background? Hannah's trying to run away while somebody, or one of them, I don't even remember who it was at this point.
Hannah's trying to run away. She gets to a car. She gets in the wrong car. He opens the back and climbs in like he's fucking...
He plays with her first.
I know.
He's got to turn the locks on, turn them off.
He has rabies. It doesn't make sense that he's playing fucking cat and mouse games in a car, but he's doing it because he's awesome.
Yes, he is. Yeah. It's an odd movie. It's an odd movie, but it's worth watching. That is my summation of this movie, not Primal, starring Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I think anyone who tells you that this movie's dumb, they're right. They're just missing why that's part of the positive part of it. But also, if you see a criticism of this movie that is really related to the character arcs or the plot, just try to think, why would you want those things? Here's the movie. A chimpanzee gets rabies and tries to murder all of the young people at his house. What plot would you like put into that? What character arcs do you think are going to help make that more interesting? Because the movie just plays front to back, fast, after first 20 minutes, just fast and intense, and some great gore effects, some great suspense, some great creepy moments, world-class antagonist. What do you want them to put in there so you can go, I really enjoyed that they had this character arc? What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm with you. You don't need anything else. That movie has everything you wanted. Maybe, and this is just me personally, don't do the confusing time stuff at the beginning, because don't mess with time. Just go linear. Other than that,
They wanted that opening kill.
I sorted it out. Why couldn't the open? Oh no, that would be dumb. If the mongoose fought Ben at the opening kill.
Man, he does kill the mongoose. I guess you could have done it.
Yeah, but no, you had to do the time.
No, because you're supposed to like Ben. You're supposed to feel bad for Ben, at least, because you see him for a brief minute before it flashes. When it flashes back, you see him being polite and nice and loving.
Time out. Let's back up a second. When
messing with time,
we're messing with time, getting back in the old.
I'm going to be real confused.
God damn it! I went back too far. I can't remember. I'm stuck on Poltergeist again. All right, no. When we first found the mongoose laying there dead, and what's the guy's name? Terry Gross? No.
Troy Kotzer?
Troy Kotzer. He comes up to the monkey and he's like, were you fighting with your neighbors again? Like, he doesn't seem like, holy shit, what's this dead animal here? It's as if Ben took great pleasure in murdering animals in the past. So maybe he was being raised on horror movies and stuff. And he had a little bit of a...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I'm using the old canoodle.
So Ben was the bad guy?
He might have been the whole
bullshit.
That's how he turns into the serial killer. Like the rabies just gives him extra powers because he was always bad. That whole lovey-dovey stuff was all fake. He resented being enslaved by these stupid upright monkeys.
Oh, that's closer. I think that's probably actually closer.
But okay, that's my new theory. I can't wait for the sequel. It's going to answer a whole bunch of questions I have.
I hope they make at least 7 more so the one can be Primate with an 8 instead of the A.
Well, you have to now. Like, that's the goal. You got to get to there.
Which one does he go to space?
Ooh.
I'm ready for a whole series of Ben.
Are they going to... Is it going to be like a 2001 A Space Odyssey kind of thing to get him into space in the first place? Or is he the monolith that comes down to all the other monkeys?
You understood something about 2001 A Space Odyssey, the movie you've never seen?
I've only ever seen the first 20 minutes with that monkey. They just kind of like hang around.
I'm just impressed you knew that there were both monkeys and a monolith in it.
That's really all I know. And then
there's a computer.
Well, I know it's there because I've seen stuff on the internet. But
yes, it's one of the most famous movies of all time.
Here's the problem.
I've seen The Simpsons.
Yeah, I've seen The Simpsons. Here's the problem. I can't let you do that, Dave. Here's the problem with that movie. That first 20 minutes, it's cool. I'm getting to learn about these monkeys and, throwing poop and rocks and stuff at each other.
Don't think they do that. They don't throw poop at all, but sure. Those
are
also people in costumes.
Ben looked way better.
Yes, he did. I mean, it's been 60-something years, almost 60 years since 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Okay. But anyway, once they get done shaking their clubs at the monolith, it goes into space for like half an hour with just music as I'm looking at stuff. Who's watching that?
People in 1968 who are fascinated with the space race and have never seen anything like it on screen before.
You know who made it about 3 minutes into that and then turned it off and never watched it again?
Is it you?
It was this guy.
I think it was also Ken. Like you both have the same stopping point.
It's right there. Well, it's a natural stopping point.
It's not.
They took too long. What am I doing here?
I love that movie. I think it's great. I think it has one of the most fascinating endings. I don't think it's nearly as complicated as people make it out to be. It's not. It is surreal in a way, but it's not as confusing as people try to make it. I think it's quite clear what's happening, and it's fascinating.
The spaceship kills him.
No. He ends up in a human zoo. And
the spaceship does?
No, Dave.
Who's Dave?
Keir Dullea from Black Christmas.
Who's that?
I don't know, but I had enough. Well, you know who he was. He was the guy that played piano and wanted
her
to
have
have the
guy.
baby.
Okay. He was in that movie? That's
where he was from.
I never made it to People.
My God, it's full of stars. It's a great movie. And then he ends up being a baby in space.
A space baby?
Every time you see the monolith, there's a jump in evolution, technological or human evolution.
Where did this monolith?
The monkeys learn to use tools from. We don't know. the monkeys learn to use tools when they see the monolith. And that's how they're able to defeat their enemies. And it's a giant step forward. They find a monolith on the moon, and then it cuts to now they're able to travel to deep space. It keeps pushing them forward. And then Dave sees the monolith one last time when he's in this human zoo at the end.
The hell does that mean?
I call it a human zoo because it's the best way to describe it. But he ends up lost in space and wakes up in like what an alien would build as a house if it understood what humans would live in.
Oh, like a stick with some leaves on it?
No, he lives out his life in like this house that's been made for him. And you can see him cutting through time, seeing himself getting older and older and older. And as he's dying, he sees the monolith. And then it cuts to a baby zygote in space. Because it's the next evolution of whatever's next for humanity is what he's... It's a great movie.
So he turned into a giant floating space baby?
Yep. And you've seen that in The Simpsons.
That's probably the only reason. Because I was sitting here thinking, like, I know that giant floating space baby, but I never saw the end of that movie.
People are very confused by the end of that movie, and I think they're trying to think too much into it. I think it's actually very straightforward what's happening. You have to take it literally, which is counterintuitive to how you process things now. You think everything's got little tricks in it. No, he's literally seeing his life play out in this thing that was designed for him, probably being observed by whoever made it, whatever entity made it, whatever aliens made it. And then the next step in human evolution happens to him. That's it. I think people are looking for meaning, and it's like, that was the meaning of it. It's just showing you what it is. Kubrick wasn't Lynch. That's what I'm saying.
Every time they jumped in speed, did they spend 20 minutes making music about it?
Kind of.
Sounds tedious.
The stuff with Hal is great. Like, it's genuinely, like for a G-rated movie in 1968 about space, is genuinely kind of terrifying.
So it was like a good 10-minute segment in between all these other little segments. It's like a little vignettes, is this movie, of different points in time.
I think the amount of time we've spent even on this podcast discussing this movie, you could have just watched it.
I will never watch that movie until they fast forward through all that space nonsense.
The monkey part is the best part of that movie because it's cool that there's like 15 minutes of just non-speaking monkeys learning how to use tools.
I really relate to that.
But it also tells you the whole plot of the movie. Like, it's one of those things where that's why you don't have to read too much into what happens at the end. That's what happens at the end. He learns whatever the next step is. That's what happens.
Oh.
That's why the movie never tells you what the monolith's about. But if you pay attention, even a little bit, every time they interact with one, massive step forwards. It's teaching them things that they couldn't have come to on their own, or jumping their knowledge. But who's placing the monoliths? That's interesting. You know, like, that doesn't tell you that.
Giant space baby did.
And 2010 is a pretty good movie too. People don't give it enough credit. I like that movie.
Is that the one with Woody Harrelson and the planet kills everyone?
No, that's 2012.
There's two movies,
and I don't think
just years.
Woody Harrelson even in it. It's a Jake Gyllenhaal movie, isn't it?
I thought Woody Harrelson.
Or was he The Day After Tomorrow?
He was The Day After Tomorrow. Do you know I saw that movie in the theater by myself?
Nice.
I don't know why. I think I was just free one night. I'm like, I got to go see a movie.
2010, the year we made contact, is about getting back out there and finding out what went wrong with Hale. And it's kind of fascinating. And it has great cast. It's got John Lithgow and Roy Scheider. And
do they spend 20 minutes between things just looking at space and listening to music?
Not as much, no.
Okay, good.
But you do get a Keir Dullea cameo, which is really interesting. Because whatever happened to him. Like, I know what happened to him at the end of the movie, but from their perspective, whatever happened to him. And he's able to communicate with them briefly, and it's kind of interesting. I think it's a really good movie. I think it's one of those movies that, at the time it came out, 2001 is regarded as this, like the monolith itself, a massive step forward for technology and film. And then you see, I mean, does Star Wars exist without it? Probably not. Because it is one of those movies that just captured every imagination about what you could do with film. So by the time the second one comes out, it's like Psycho 2, where it's like, it doesn't matter how good this movie is, we're going to shit on it. Because it's not going to be the original. And then you go back and you look at it and go, everyone's wrong about this movie. This movie's really good.
All right. I get you. Because Psycho 2 is pretty good, right? That's the one
Psycho 2 is great. I think Psycho 2 is great. People didn't want it for so long because they thought it was, well, it's not Psycho. And it's like, it's not going to have the impact Psycho had. It's not. It can't. We're in the middle of slashers being everywhere. You can't go back in time 20 years and then be like, yeah, we did it again.
And I didn't think you could do a sequel to Psycho because it's not really a thing that can be done, but it was solid.
I think kind of the same thing about 2010. And I think it's a really interesting movie that has cool ideas about what went wrong with Hale or what happened with Hale. And it's very much like Ben and Primate. Is any of this his fault? He can only work within his own protocols.
But maybe he was, because I gotta watch that Primate movie again, because Ben might have been bad from the start.
That's true.
This movie's good.
This movie is good.
There's death.
It's good, and it's good in a way that people are afraid to let their movies be anymore. And you don't have to layer on things to please everybody. This movie doesn't care.
I think it's weird that that's what people are hung up on. That's their complaint.
It's weird to me, too, because some of the people that are doing it are people who should know better, if I'm just going to be frank about it.
As long as I can be Stu. I just wanted to be somebody, Brian. There's nothing more to it. Just like Primate, there doesn't have to be anything to it. I just wanted to be somebody else.
That's an out now. You're going to be like that all the time. It's like Primate, man.
It doesn't have to have a reason.
You wanted to get in the way.
Oh, boy. I can't wait till we get to the David Lynch stuff. It's like Primate, man.
As a fan of slasher movies, I thought this was a breath of fresh air. Just not be afraid to just be what you are.
And it's weird because it is a slasher movie.
It's 100% a slasher movie.
Right,
once Nick goes over the side of that cliff, it is never anything but a slasher movie.
But I'm sorry. We keep describing it as it's just a movie about a monkey that gets rabies and then kills everyone.
What I find most fascinating about it is not only is it just a flat-out slasher movie, it's one of the least complicated, simplest ones I've seen in years, and that's what makes it work.
And there is nothing that I have to, I mean, I guess I should suspend some disbelief, but, with all the plotting but I don't. I'm just, yep, he's a straight up slasher movie guy now.
Yep. He's one of the best killers we've had in a while.
Agreed.
I mean, he might not be Tucker level, but he's going to get himself a nomination at the end of this year. I would think it's going to be hard for him to get knocked out of the...
If he comes back again, I would put him up there with Art the Clown as a new...
I did think about Terrifier while watching this because this took the opposite kind of way of doing the same kind of thing, where we're just going to embrace what we are, but we're not going to do it. I don't even say winking, but Terrifier knows that you're rooting for Art the Clown.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I mean, you're kind of rooting for Sienna too. It's in a weird space, but it knows that that's why you're there. You're there to see him fuck shit up. And this movie's like, it doesn't really know why you're there for 100%, but if you are there, it's like simple. Where Terrifier keeps trying to get bigger, and sometimes it works. Terrifier 2, I think, worked really well. Terrifier 3, less well. This one's like, take it out. Take it all out of there. Remember, one of the things I loved about Terrifier 2 was the exact opposite of this movie. It's so overwritten. It's delightful.
Right. It was everywhere with all these different ideas going on.
Every scene went on 30 seconds longer than it needed to, and just had like these lines you would cut from any movie. And I was so fascinated by how weird it made the movie feel that I loved it. This movie's like, what if nobody talked? And I love that too. So it's like one's the excess that we can throw on the genre. One's the minimalist way to do the genre, and they both work.
Both had great practical effects.
They both have great practical effects. They both worked really well. They both gave us iconic villains. And I think people would like this one more than Terrifier because the things that turn people off about Terrifier aren't in this one.
What? What could possibly...
Sawing girls in half and...
People aren't into that these days?
Ripping their scalps off and throwing baking powder in there or salt in there and then burning them to death. It's not in there.
I mean...
Chainsaw up the bum.
Ben does some stuff. He rips scalps off.
I know. Yeah, he does. But they don't show it as bad, I guess. I love when he grabbed down and pulled their hair. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
He ripped someone's jaw off and you watched us slowly tear this poor boy's face apart.
It wasn't room for him.
And then he sat there with his tongue flapping. He's just bleeding everywhere.
That's what the father sees. That's how he figures out something's wrong.
Right.
I'd be like, what's he doing in my daughter's bed?
Where did face go?
Yes.
Right. So, in summation, you got to go watch that You and Me in Tuscany movie.
I have to see it.
Okay, and so should everyone else.
Me and Tuscany.
You, Me, and Tuscany. All right.
We should do a trailer watch along right now. The next 3 weeks, I don't know what order these things are going to happen in. It really comes down to which guest we're able to get at what times.
Ooh.
We're going to have a top 10 with Ken.
Yeah.
We're going to have a Return to Oz watch along with Kitty.
Ooh.
And we're going to have Mark back to watch Society.
That's going to be my new The Guest, because I don't know what that is.
Well, it won't be for long, because it's going to be in the next 3 weeks. It has already been moved twice.
You know what? It's gonna join Night Watch on the hall.
You said it again. I don't know what order those will happen in, but they will be the next 3 weeks. So we can get all our guests on before we begin Well, then we'll have our summer preview spooktacular with Kitty. So that's the next 4 weeks. And the reason I'm laying that all out there is because after that, buckle the fuck up. Because we're returning to Twin Peaks for 9 weeks.
And we're going to play my favorite game now.
And if that wasn't enough, we're going to go to 1986 for 10 weeks. So after the next 4, the next 19 weeks are, I hope you like themes, because we're theming it up.
And everybody likes a sequel. It's a theme summer. A summer theme. Aren't they called theme parks? Summer theme park. Aren't they theme parks? They're not amusement parks. Some are amusement parks, but theme parks, right?
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
So it's a summer theme park.
Okay.
You seem way less impressed than I was hoping you would be. I thought I was coming up with something here.
What did you think you were coming up with?
Something better than the reaction I got. Deserves something bigger.
Good effort, Pete.
Kitty?
All right, we'll see you next week for one of those 3 things.